Today's documentary, Vanished, the Roanoke Enigma. The fort was empty, not a soul in sight, only the wind through the trees, and a single word carved into a post, CROATOAN. Governor John White stood frozen. His daughter, his granddaughter, all 115 colonists, gone, vanished without a trace. 3 years of hope, shattered in an instant. This is where America's first mystery began, and where it still lives. It started with promise. In the summer of 1587, 3 ships, the Lion, the Fly, and the Pilot, sailed from Plymouth, England. Their mission, to establish a permanent English settlement in the New World. On board were men, women, and children, families dreaming of a new life. The journey was brutal. 60 days of storms, sickness, and dwindling supplies. But when land appeared, the lush, green coast of Roanoke Island, a collective sigh of relief washed over the decks. They landed on July 22, 1587. The air was thick with salt and the scent of pine. They rebuilt the abandoned fort from a previous failed expedition. Axes rang against timber. Children played in the surf. Hope was a tangible thing, but the wilderness was watching. The forests were dense, teeming with unknown creatures. At night, wolves howled in the distance. The colonists huddled in their makeshift homes, listening. They depended on the CROATOAN tribe, led by Manteo, for food and guidance. But trust was a fragile thing. When a colonist named George Howe was found murdered on the beach, his body riddled with arrows, panic spread. The Second had struck. Now, no one was safe. Supplies dwindled. The crops they planted were unfamiliar, the soil stubborn. By August, fear had taken root. Then, a moment of light. Eleanor Dare gave birth to a daughter. They named her Virginia, the first English child born in the Americas. Her cry was a symbol of new beginnings. But it was also a vulnerability. A baby in a world where survival was not guaranteed. Governor White made a desperate decision. He would sail back to England for reinforcements. He called the colonists together. Their faces were gaunt, eyes hollow. "I will return with supplies," he vowed. He kissed his daughter goodbye. He held his infant granddaughter, her small hand gripping his finger. He promised to return in a few months. The colonists watched ships shrink on the horizon. Then, silence. England was at war. The Spanish Armada loomed, and every ship was commandeered for battle. White pleaded with Sir Walter Raleigh. He bargained with privateers. He wrote frantic letters. 3 long years passed. Every day, his mind raced with images of his family starving, attacked, abandoned. Finally, in 1590, he secured passage on a privateering voyage led by Captain Abraham Cock. When Roanoke Island finally appeared through the mist on August 18, 1590, White's heart pounded like a drum. He stepped ashore. The fort's gates stood open, creaking in the breeze. The houses were dismantled, carefully taken apart, as if packed for travel. No signs of struggle, no graves, no bodies, just emptiness. He walked through the empty settlement. His footsteps echoed. He found chests buried, filled with his own belongings, untouched. A chilling detail. The colonists had taken time to hide valuables, suggesting a planned departure. And then, the carving. On a post of the fort, the word CROATOAN cut deep into the wood, each letter a wound. On a nearby tree, the letters CRO, but no cross, the prearranged distress signal. White had instructed them to carve a Maltese cross if they were in danger. There was none. What did it mean? Were they safe with the CROATOAN tribe on Hatteras Island? Or was it a message from something darker? The privateers refused to stay. A storm was brewing. They dragged White back to the ship. He screamed, wept, begged for one more day to search. But the sails were raised. The island faded into the rain. John White never saw his family again. He died years later, his heart broken, the mystery unsolved. For centuries, the mystery festered. Searches were launched, but none found conclusive evidence. In 1607, when Jamestown was settled, Captain John Smith heard whispers from Powhatan tribes. He claimed that Powhatan confessed to massacring the Roanoke colonists. But the story shifted. Other accounts spoke of blonde-haired, blue-eyed natives living inland, possible descendants of assimilated colonists. Modern archaeology has sharpened the search. On Hatteras Island, digs have uncovered English artifacts mixed with CROATOAN remains. But no mass grave, no definitive proof. Another theory suggests the colonists split up, some joining the Croatoan, others moving inland to the Chesapeake Bay, where they were later killed. The theories clash: assimilation versus massacre. Did the colonists join the Croatoan people to survive, or were they slaughtered by rival tribes or Spanish forces? The truth is buried in time, but the horror lingers. Imagine the last days. The food runs out. The neighbors turn hostile. The children cry in the night. Do you stay and die, or walk into the unknown forest? Every decision a gamble with death. The Lost Colony is a ghost in American history. It whispers from the pages of every unsolved mystery. It haunts our need for answers, because sometimes the past doesn't give them. Sometimes it only leaves a word carved in wood, and a silence that screams across 400 years. To this day, on Roanoke Island, the wind still carries echoes. Archaeologists sift the soil for clues. Historians debate the evidence. But the 115 souls remain missing. Their story is a void, a black hole in our narrative. It reminds us that the New World was not a promise, but a peril, and that the first American mystery may never be solved. It is a ghost story written in history, and it is waiting for you to listen. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, please subscribe to our channel. We bring you fascinating documentaries on history, science, civilizations, mysteries, and the untold stories that shaped our world. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you never miss a new release. See you in the next one.